you need to think about finishing well and building to that finish as part of the philosophy of the side, if you like. Obviously you want to be competitive and try and win the competition you're in, but I don't think there's much point in stressing that. I think you've got to stress playing well and playing to your potential and developing aspects of the game so that the team can play to its potential. I think it's negative to talk about winning all the time, and that puts pressure on the team to win. I think you've got to put the pressure on to play well and individuals to play well. And as the season goes on, you know, you're progressing in your skill level, well, you should be, as units and lineouts and scrums and back play. And individuals should be progressing in the skills that they have as individuals, and you should be working on that. I think a big factor is the fitness. You know, often we have pre-season training, pre-season fitness, and guys get pretty fit in the first month, they're very fit, and then they sort of slacken off and don't do the hard work between the team training sessions, so they're losing their cardiovascular fitness, if you like. And so that's a negative on performance, and that often happens at club level and school level and rep level, let's face it. So it's important to keep that physical fitness going. So a combination of all those things should produce peaking at the end. And then you've got the competitive games, haven't you? You've got your championship quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals, depending on how the thing is set up. And that should bring the best out of players. If you have a bad performance and you're getting into the final stages of a competition, there's no point, in my opinion, in putting that thing away and not looking at it, that bad performance. I think you've got to dissect it. It may not have anything to do with playing rugby. It might be other factors which are affecting the performance. And so I think you need to go into what we call a shit session, for want of a better word, and everybody speaks and says what they feel about how the side is and what the climate of the side is and so on. And so get all those things out in the open, all those factors, and come to some conclusions and go from there. You know, a player who's going to make it will become highly competitive in those situations. So they're going to go make it through the grades and become a rep player or an international player. They would find those games hugely challenging and stimulating to play in. The guys who don't find them that way will not make it. I don't think you need a lot of motivation. I think the occasion provides that. And you can push players over the top by putting too much pressure on them. And I mentioned before the winning pressure, which I think is negative pressure. I think you've got to put on an emphasis on guys playing well, being excited, enjoying themselves, expressing themselves as individuals, enjoying the occasion. Marvellous to be there, marvellous to have the opportunity. And the team also, you know, the team producing a fine performance that they're proud of, playing well, not playing to win, right? So it's playing well and being proud of what they're doing, being excited about what they're doing, communicating a lot, enjoying what they're doing, those sort of things, playing the game with passion. So you're emphasising the enjoyment, the excitement, the passion, the hype, rather than emphasising the need to win, and so it's crucial, and if we don't win, what's going to happen to us?
Coming in. With the feed to the scrum, the halfback should communicate with his forwards. Hooker and halfback working together. The hooker strikes for the ball, immediately it leaves the halfback's hands and directs the ball to the rear of the scrum with his feet. The halfback and hooker should always work together. The halfback should also communicate with his forwards. The hooker can strike the ball immediately the ball has passed the first foot of the props coming into the scrum. He should then direct the ball to the rear of the scrum as quickly as possible. When pushing forward in the scrum, the ball is controlled by the number 8, with the forwards keeping the scrum straight and taking small steps. All of the forwards should push in a controlled and coordinated manner. The front 5 should squeeze together, keeping the scrum tight. They should keep the pressure on after the contact has been made. Call the squeeze. Coordinate the push. Take little steps while going forward. Keep the pressure on, both with your own feed and with the opposition feed. Maintain stability going forward if possible. Control the ball at number 8. Note in this example, where the outside foot is forward of the inside foot, what occurs is the spines do not stay in a line and the backside can start drifting outwards. This prop is not in a good body position. When the tight head prop has got poor body position and his spine does not remain in a line, the loose head prop can end up pushing forward and through, straight through, causing the tight head prop to pop. Now let us look at this from the opposite side. Here we have the tight head prop with his head on the inside of the scrum, and the loose head prop on the far side is on the outside. The tight head prop has got good body positioning, but the loose head prop decides to bore inwards towards the centre of the scrum, forcing the tight head to nearly pop. The way he stops that is to lock his head against the side of the loose head prop's head, and that pushes the loose head back to the outside of the scrum. When a tight head prop gets the advantage over a loose head prop and forces them into a low and to an unsafe position, the loose head prop can still get back to a safe position. He disengages his hand and goes back onto his knee. Once he has the hand on his knee, he raises his outside shoulder and forces the outside shoulder of the tight head prop up also. In that position, the loose head prop then has two choices. He can leave his hand on his knee for the remainder of the scrum, or he may choose to put his arm forward into his preferred medium grip position whilst the tight head prop is at a disadvantage with a high shoulder. There are times when the scrums will wheel, and they will naturally wheel to the outside head where the loose head prop is. They will wheel that way. To stop the scrum from wheeling, I'm now going to get the blue scrum here to take half steps to the right, what we call crabbing. And as the yellow team try and wheel the scrum, the blue team, by crabbing to the right, will keep the scrum straight. Right, go. Stop. Try and wheel now to the right. Go. Crab to the left. So you can see, by crabbing steps, you stop the opposition scrum wheeling. In this example, the number 8 picks the ball up from the base of the scrum and passes to the halfback. who has the option of passing it out further to his backs. In this example, the halfback passes to number 6, who then passes to number 8, looping around. Another option is number 8, who passes to the halfback, who then scissors with wing, number 14. In this example, the number 8 picks up from the base of the scrum and runs normally on the right-hand side of the scrum. Here is an example of a pushover try, another option available. And here we have number 8 passing to number 9, who again scissors with number 14. Practice the hit into the scrum, maintaining the pressure after contact. Work on the timing of the push. Practice your scrums and the put-in. It may not be necessary to introduce the ball.
Jump it, Brownie! Brownie, jump it! Keep it on, Jace. Keep it on! Keep it on! Keep it on! And go! Stop! Go, hold it! Stop, blogger! Stop, blogger! Ready? Keep going, keep going! Not ready. Yeah, hold it! Hold it! Right, right. Side, keep it on. Sideys. More, cover. Jump it, Brownie. Let's go, Jace. Take it. Keep it on! Keep it on! Keep it on! Walk it up! Walk it up! Right.
Right, now we're going to look at the line-out, and we'll construct the line-out firstly from where the line-out commences. The line-out commences where the ball has gone out, which is called the line of touch. So the line of touch is the point or the place where the hooker throws the ball in. From the line of touch, the two line-outs must be 1 metre apart prior to the ball being thrown in. The opposition hooker is allowed to stand within the 5 metre territory between the line and 5 metres. Moving through the positions, the first man in the line-out has 2 options in terms of how he stands. The 2 alternative positions are the side-on position, like this, where he can still contest the ball at the front on the opposition's throw-in, but at the same time he's in a position to support his jumper, or the alternative is for him to be in a slightly forward position, facing forward, where once again he can contest the opposition's throw-in, but at the same time he's in a position to quickly turn and support his own jumper if he has to. Note the different positioning of the players at the front of the line-out, and then the support given by the number 1 in the blue and white team to his jumper. For the 2 jumper, he must always look the same no matter where the ball is being thrown in, or else he can give away to the opposition when it's his throw and when it isn't. He must always look the same. Always take up the same stance in every line-out. The third man in the line-out is a block. The preferred position is facing forward but towards the middle of the line-out so that he's in a position to support his number 2 jumper at the top of his jump. He's also in an ideal position to support his jumper from being blocked or being interfered with by his opposite in the other team. He's also in a position where he can turn around and support the jumper behind him when he is at the top of his jump. This is the number 4 jumper, who also, like number 2 jumper, must always look the same when his side is throwing the ball in. He will generally have 3 jumps. The first jump is a fast forward jump, where he moves forward with arms forward. The second jump is a front lob, which will land straight on him. And the third jump is a high lob to the back, which he generally will bring down into a driving position. For the 5 position in the line-out, this can be a jumping position, remember, but from the position of supporting the number 4 jumper, he too is in a forward position, looking towards the middle of the line-out, so that he can move forward, protect his number 4 from interference from the opposition, and also support him at the top of his jump. All right, for the 6th jumper, this is a jumper that has to use his skills in terms of utilizing space. He can go forward for a jump, or he may be required to go back for a jump. But you can see the space that he can utilize in actually executing any of those alternative jumps. And of course, this is your runner off the back of the line-out, usually a number 7, usually an open side flank, and this is supposed to be your fast man to actually get to the 2nd and 3rd phase. Note that how both number 7s do not commit themselves to the line-out, thus making themselves available to follow the ball. Very finally, the traditional jumping positions are 2, 4, and 6.